Good morning, everyone. This is Melody Reels at the Iowa Quilt Museum here in Winterset, Iowa, on another Thursday morning Facebook Live at 9:03 a.m. This is becoming a bad habit. If you don't know, I was on last week at 9:03 and the week before at 9:02. So I'll try to be better. Good morning. Welcome. If you're new here, I do this every Thursday morning. Where do I want to start? I want to start with last weekend. Last weekend, on Friday, my godmother and I drove down to Missouri, Hamilton, Missouri, and we went and saw the Missouri Quilt Museum and Missouri Star, and they were having an airing of the quilt show. So we went down there to go check it out and visit the area, and people were so nice. And it was kind of interesting to go. They took an old schoolhouse and turned it into a quilt museum. And we have an old JCPenney's building, and we turned it into a quilt museum. So I wish I could say I met the director there. I didn't get to meet her, and I didn't get to meet the Missouri Star gal, but maybe on a next visit I'll get to do that. But that was kind of fun to go and do that last weekend. And what do I want to talk to you about? August giveaway. Hey, do you know it's our 10-year anniversary and we're doing a monthly giveaway? We've given away posters and grab bags and have done drawings. Well, this month is another drawing. And if you would like to win this beautiful one-of-a-kind handmade bag from Ann Welker. Ann used to work for Fons and Porter, and she would, there's Ann, and she would they would do patterns for the magazine, and she would recreate some of them, and she recreated these bags for the magazine, and this was donated by her daughter after she just recently passed. So I love this bag. I love the color. I love the batik fabric in here, but we just can't give you an empty bag. You get a layered cake from Moda. Maybe I shouldn't put it upside down. There's a layered cake from Moda with little puppy dogs, and then there's other prints in here. There's gingham and flowers, and it's really sweet. This is in there. You get a notebook from Quilt Folk. It has gridded paper to plan out your next project. To go with that dog fabric layered cake, we have this beautiful jelly roll with matching colors with floral prints on it. It's really sweet. We got a deck of playing cards, quilted playing cards. And then we have these book darts, and they're sealed, so I don't want to open them. But it's and it's donated by Quilt Folk as well. And they're little tabs that you would put on the corner of your book, just like a bookmark. So we filled the bag with these items. If you would like to sign up for this giveaway, all you need to do is email giftshop@iowaquiltmuseum.org. I'm going to set this down over here. Isn't this a great backdrop? We're not talking about this quilt today. I keep teasing you by, standing in front of a fabulous quilt and saying, not today. We're going to feature the quilt in front of us. Anyway, again, if you would like to sign up for that giveaway, you're going to want to email your name, email address, or phone number, a way to contact you if we draw your name at giftshop@iowaquiltmuseum.org, and you can get signed up for that. We are also doing an online auction for our 10-year anniversary. These fabulous people that submitted a quilt to participate in the Iowa Quilt Museum retrospective exhibit also donated items for an online auction. And one of the quilters we're featuring today, Mary Kerr, donated two books of her twisted books. I love this book. I have this book. I'm not a quilter, and I love this book. This was this my first exhibit? This was my first exhibit as a director. And so I got to meet Mary Kerr, and she came through quite a bit, and she even came down for our airing of the quilts. And I thought maybe she didn't. So I have two of these. Oh, there it is. They're autographed. She signed each book. It says enjoy. I love this book. This book talks about her exhibit Twisted. She created quilt tops, mailed them to her quilting friends, and gave them carte blanche to quilt however she loves. however they liked. This is one of my favorite quilts that was in that exhibit. I love the story behind this quilt. She wanted to mail this quilt top. Well, the quilters didn't know what they were getting. It was kind of like an unboxing, and a lot of them would just hang it on their design wall until they felt inspired and it spoke to them and how to quilt it. This one, this quilter that she mailed this quilt to, she's like, I don't know, I don't do vintage quilts. She's like, Mary convinced her to do it, and she made like a mid-century modern kind of quilting to it, which was great. If you don't know Mary, Mary takes discarded quilt blocks, vintage blocks, quilt tops, and she repurposes them in a new way, and that's where you get the name Twisted. So they've got a vintage twist to them, you know, they've got vintage blocks, fabric in there, and then she just kind of redesigned them. This was one of, Fanflower was one of Sharita, my gift shop gal's favorite. As you can see, she created a little flower, and there was a dragonfly quilted in there. Anyway, so you can win one of these two in our online auction. Just go to our website, iowaquiltmuseum.org, and on the home page there'll be a link that'll take you to the auction site, and you can scroll through, search for your favorite quilt artist, and see if they donated something, and you can bid right there on the item. She donated 2 of these books, so you can win one of those 2 books. Lastly, a little personal note. Yesterday was my birthday. Yay me. I turned 53 yesterday, and I had a wonderful day. And anyway, if I thought for this day only, people watching this video, I probably won't publicize it, I'd like to give a giveaway for my birthday. I'd like to give you all a present. So we have these posters. We have signed posters. This one is from the homecoming, Fons and Porter homecoming, when they were inducted into the into the Quilters Hall of Fame. There was a special exhibit for them here to commemorate and honor them. And this is back in 2019, 2020. This is signed by Marianne Fons, because this is one of Marianne Fons's quilts. So I think I have 6 of these posters signed by Marianne. 2, 3, 4, actually I have 5. 2, 4, 5. I have 5 here signed by Marianne. I have, I think 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a Liz Porter quilt. So these are all signed by Liz Porter. So I have 5 of these signed by Marianne, 7 of these signed by Liz Porter, and then I also have 3 Victoria Finley Wolf posters. 1 of these and 2 of these. These are not signed though. If you would like one of those posters, email me directly at director@iowaquiltmuseum.org. First come, first get. Email me your address and which one you would like, and I will send you one of those. I'm not going to advertise it. This is it. You see this video, you can sign up, and I can let you know if I have one still for you or not. But it's just for my birthday, because it was yesterday, and I love my birthday. Okay, aren't you so tired of hearing me talk about giveaways and online auctions and my weekend? Who cares what I did? Let's get to some quilts, right? So I've been trying to stay on top of, and I'm not doing a great job, but I did do it this week. I've named that quilt artist, and a lot of you got them right. We're going to feature those 2 quilt artists today. So let me turn you around. This is Paula Nadelstern. If that's what you guessed, you are correct. And we just had some of Paula's quilts, Kaleidoscope quilts, in our Manhattan Quilters Guild exhibit. She had 2. She had one in the Rebound, Renew, Reimagine, and then she submitted an extra one for us because we had extra space in the exhibit to display more quilts, and she sent us 2 quilts. My chair. Well, same thing. I'll show the 2 quilts, talk about each one, and then I'll take you off the stand and we'll do a more detailed view. I'll get you up close and personal to each quilt. I love the way she signs her quilts, and I'll show you that's on the back. It's a new thing that she started doing, and it's really sweet, and I can't wait to share that with you. But let's read about this. This is Wheelhouse Rock, Paula Nadelstern out of Bronx, New York, completed in 2019. It's a 40 by 40. Materials used, cotton fabrics designed by Paula. Construction techniques, machine piece, machine quilted. This is a quilt of unexpected consequences. A kaleidoscope design is composed of identical triangular wedges that radiate from central point for those mostly hexagonal shape. Oh, sorry. I did a run-on sentence and there was a period there. Let's do that again. A kaleidoscope design is composed of identical triangular wedges that radiate from a center point, period. For those mostly hexagonal shapes, I tried a different strategy. The wedges are all unusual, identical motifs, but are not identical colors. Instead, I used different colorways of the same fabric, designed to create something unexpected even to me. Both the figures and the ground reference Matthew Schillen's folded paper art with permission from the artist. The patchwork quilt is paradoxically quiet and exciting. I love her color choices here. And you know what I forgot to do? I do have, well, I'll just do it real quick. Paula Nadelstern does have a website. You can go see more of her work. She also teaches classes that you can look into, and she also has books. And her website is Paula Nadelstern, NADELSTERN.com, paulanadelstern.com. She's a lifelong New Yorker. She developed her unique style while making quilts in her limited space of her 2-bedroom apartment. For more than 20 years, her workspace was a 40-inch round kitchen table. Anyway, her quilts have received international recognition. She is also the first contemporary quilt artist to have a one-person exhibit at the American Folk Art Museum. She has authored numerous books, designed fabrics for Benartix, and continues to live in New York City. Anyway, you could go to her website and learn more. I tried to do a real brief summary on her bio. She's got quite a bit in there, a lot of accolades. But anyway, I will take you off the stand after we see Mary's, and we'll look at her fabric, because she designed all that fabric, and look at what she was talking about and her signature on the back, after we take a look at stirring the coffee. This is stirring the coffee. Let me get you a little closer here. You know what okay, I can't. Yes, I can. No, I can't. I was going to turn on my flash, but I can't. I think I have to do it in the beginning. It doesn't matter. Anyway, this is stirring the coffee. A lot of people got this right. This was here before. Again, this is in the Twisted book, this quilt, and it was here for the Twisted exhibit in 2024. And this was voted, I believe, most favorite by the visitors of that exhibit. And so we were really excited to have this one back. I do really love this quilt. I love the white background with the all the different prints of the 30s fabric, and we'll take a closer look at that. But I also love the way the quilter quilted this. It's almost like a Zen garden. And I thought of it too as, you know, colorful snowflakes falling out of the sky, because they just seem like they're just gently drifting down, or even like a lens flare in a camera might be a better description, because lens flare, you know, has color in it. When you know, those little dots that pop up on photographs sometimes, but they do just seem to be kind of just so calming. The way she's, you know, kind of circled each of the dressed-in plates. Oh yeah, dressed-in plates. This, like I said, this was the first exhibit that I kind of did by myself. Carissa had left. She stayed on, God bless her, for a long time, kind of holding my hand through the whole process. But this was the first exhibit that I did by myself. And, you know, I'm not a quilter. And I was like, what is this quilt block? And I had to look it up, and I learned about Dresden plates. And anyway, so this quilt has a special place in my heart for sure. Let me read about it. Because do I have... Oh, no. Oh, yes, she does. Okay. She credits the quilter that she gave this. Kelly Cline is the one that quilted this. And actually, I think Kelly is the one that commented that this is my quilt. Like, she quilted this with Mary. So Mary pieced the top, and Kelly Cline quilted it. So let's read. This is Stirring the Coffee by Mary Kerr, Woodbridge, Virginia. She completed this quilt in 2016. The dimensions are 50 by 62. Materials used, vintage blocks and cotton fabrics. Construction techniques, hand pieced, machine appliqued, machine pieced, machine quilted by Kelly Cline. 9 small Dresden plate blocks from the 1940s begged to be allowed to dance in the sea of white. The vintage blocks were in excellent condition and the edges already turned under and basted. I wanted to create an, oh no, Mary, what'd you do to me? Asymmetric. I did it. Thank you. I know the word. It threw me off. So sorry. Okay. I wanted to create an asymmetric placement and gave myself the freedom to play as a machine, as I machine buttonhole stitched the blocks in place. Kelly quilted spiral lines for the illusion of movement throughout the quilt. And it just does that too, right? It does give that movement of just kind of gracefully falling or gracefully floating, as it says, you know, stirring the coffee, little oil bubbles in your coffee in the morning. Like I said, this just holds a special place in our hearts because, again, it was here before. It was voted by visitors as their favorite. So I'm going to take you off the stand. We're going to take a closer look at Stirring the Coffee, and then we'll go over to Wheelhouse Rock and take a closer look at Paula's quilt as well. Let me take you off. There we go. So gently. I'm going to roll my card over because I want to read Paula's right up again when we take a closer look. So let's take a look at this fun 30s fabric in these Dresden plates. And sometimes you'll see repeats of fabric. Like this one here is repeated here. I think this is I know there's a lot of purists out there about keeping things and preserving the history, and I feel like this is preserving the history. What a wonderful way to showcase these wonderful prints that are just so fun and have so much character to them. Like a little bird right here. Again, there's that piece, that one again. I love the flowers. This looks like a rodeo one. There's a horse head right there. Is there one that maybe... And then let's just take a look at her quilting here as well. And creating the circles around each Dresden plate and the spiral in the center. And then mimicking that over here. Just to kind of, it gives movement, right? By adding this, instead of continuing those lines straight down, giving this movement, like this is almost like it's the drop and the ripples, right? And then you've got the drops and the ripples and the others. Now, if I remember right, Mary Kerr loves to label her quilts with vintage blocks as well. So we'll take a look at behind. There's another bird right there. We'll take a look at the back and look at her label because they don't disappoint. Talk about 2 fun quilts that will have 2 fun labels on the back. Here we go. Here's the block, a star block, and it says there, Stirring the Coffee, Vintage Dresden Plates, circa 1940. I said 30s. Quilted by Kelly Cline, Mary Kerr, 2015. And then there's her website right there. But again, just a fun way to use vintage blocks, you know, that you have acquired or that, you know, have been handed down to you and you just don't know what to do. If you wanted to start using them as a label on your quilts, I think that's such a fun idea. And she just wrote her label, right? So that's just handwritten on there as well. And I love that idea. So again, she would send a quilt top. She'd create the quilt top, send the quilt top to a quilting friend, and let them just decide however they wanted to quilt it. And this is what, was it Kelly Cline? Kelly Cline decided to come up with. And I think it's perfect. I love the collaboration. In that whole exhibit, I highly recommend that if you don't want to do the auction and you don't want to, whatever, I still recommend that you get the book. It's a great book. She has some really great books, especially if you have an affinity towards the vintage fabric. Okay, again, this is Wheelhouse Rock by Paula Nadelstern. And I just wanted to reread because as we're going to take a closer look, she said both the figures and the ground reference, Matthew Schillen's folded paper art and permission from the artist. Okay, no, it says here, I use different colorways of the same fabric design to create something unexpected even to me. So again, she creates her own fabric. I think her quilts are so charming and so you could just stare at them for so long. And I just love that, here we go. This is the same print in different colors. And then it creates that in the middle. I love how she creates her fabric, but then she still cuts it up and mirrors it instead of just doing it when she creates her fabric. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? Again, same print, different color, except for here. Look at these. It's got a tie-dye look to it, doesn't it? And I love, here's the center point, right? Here's the center point, and you can see there is, a piece here, a piece here. I wonder, out of all this piecing, right? Because you've got these spears that come out, but yet she's piecing the top of the spear is 2. This is 4 pieces here. I'm curious to know how many pieces she pieces in her kaleidoscope quilts. Look at this here. Isn't this fun? Oh, I love that. It looks like a beetle. And I love that, again, the 2 different colors and creating that look. That's pretty awesome. Okay. And then her quilting, I think, tends to stay would this be called? I feel like this isn't quite matchstick quilting. It seems to be a little further spaced, but maybe it is. You all out there that know quilting would be able to correct me or confirm. And then her color choices for her border here. I think, here's the regular label, right? Here's Wheelhouse Rock. And then if we go here to the back, this side, she's been tracing her left hand. I believe it's ultra suede is what it's called, that she's been cutting her hand print into. And she writes her name. And then she embellishes it with little beads and gemstones. But we were looking in here too, and these are all little knots. Can you tell? She did all these little knots, these little stitching. And when you think about, oh my gosh, how many are down here? That is crazy. And we were trying to figure out how she cut out her name because it's kind of outlined in black. And I don't know if she did that with ink so it would pop up more. Oh, you know what? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, everyone. I think, there's gold stitching in here that she added to it to kind of just give it so it stands out. Must to separate it more from the fabric behind it. Such detail and time in just this one little piece right here. But that she found so much joy in it or she wouldn't give so much time to it. And each one looks so different. I think the one on the Kaleidoscope Quilt and Rebound Renew was blue and the one on the other quilt, the other Kaleidoscope, I think was brown. So, she finds a lot of joy in that. I'm going to turn you back around and I'm going to stand in front of them. So, stirring the coffee, Wheelhouse Rock, Paula Nadelstern, Mary Kerr, and Kelly Cline is the quilter. I was standing in front of Cave Facets quilt, and it's called Handkerchief, and it's, Corners on Points. I'm looking at the label across there. So, keep coming back, and you're going to see all these quilts behind me, and you're like, when is she going to talk about that quilt? Well, keep coming back, and I will eventually. Thank you for watching now or later. I appreciate it. Again, we have our August giveaway. If you're interested in that bag and in the bag of goodies, email giftshop at iowaquiltmuseum.org if you're interested in a free autographed poster from Marianne Fons or Liz Porter or a Victoria Finley Wolf poster. Remember, I only have, what did I say, 5, 7, and 3, 15. Once they're gone, they're gone. And so first come, first email, first get. And my email address is director@iowaquiltmuseum.org. And just send me the address and which one you would want. Liz Porter, Marianne Fons, or Victoria Finley Wolf. And remember, Victoria has 2. I only have 2. I have 2 reds and 1 blue of hers. Go back to the beginning of this video and you can see those quilts again and decide if you want one. Or quilts, the posters. And I'm going to personally mail those out to you as a birthday gift. Because I love birthdays and I want to give something away for my birthday. All right, thank you everybody. Thank you for watching. Okay, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Thank you.